It has been radio silence for a little bit in terms of changes, but with our second week of AWC underway, we had the first day this Friday right now. And then, of course, we have a day on Saturday. We have a day on Sunday as well. But we did get some balance changes. People have been spamming this in my stream. They want me to check it out. So that is what we're going to look at. We have some class tuning incoming for June 27th. Working from player feedback and internal data, we've developed the following class tuning changes to address several over and underperforming classes. These adjustments will be applied to the game with scheduled weekly maintenance on Tuesday. Let's take a look at the changes. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know why this is like that, but all right. Either way, here we go. What do we got? Classes, Death Knight. So these are the non-PvP changes. Keep that in mind. These changes are not PvP specific. Blood, all damage increase. Okay, we don't really care about tanks. So Demon Hunter, Havoc. Chaos Strike Annihilation damage increased. Melee auto attack damage increased. Demon Blade damage increased. Demon Bite damage increased. Fellblade damage increased. Well, that seems nice. A solid amount of damage buffs for Demon Hunter. So let's go Demon Hunters, I guess. Feral Druid's going to be coming hot as well with all damage abilities increased by 3%. Nice little Feral Druid buff. Hunters. We got Beast Mastery. Kill shot damage increased by 10%. This does not apply to PvP combat. All right. Marksmanship. Aim shot, kill shot, and rapid fire damage increased by 10%. Kill shot damage increase does not apply to PvP combat. Okay. So aim shot and rapid fire damage got increased. Windwalker, all damage abilities by 3%. I will say, as a Windwalker player, I am semi over the aura buffs. I don't know. I feel like I don't know how you guys feel about this, but as a Windwalker player, I feel like they're always trying to solve our problems with aura buffs. You know? I would like some ability redesign. You know what I mean? I would like some talent changes. Like maybe our capstones won't be completely worthless. But we always just get the aura changes. Now this isn't PvP specific, but yeah. Priest. Shadow has been overperforming in AoE environments for bringing down some of its sources of AoE, increasing the damage of its direct damage. God dang, bro. So here's, I feel like from what I've seen, Shadow Priests do really good single target damage. Like, I feel like their AoE damage is pretty good, but their single target damage seems really, really strong. Mind Blast damage increased by 10%. Shadow of Death damage increased by 10%. Mind Spike Insanity damage increased by 10%. Mind Spike damage increased by 10%. Mind Flay damage increased by 10%. Mind Flay damage increased. Void Bolt damage increased by 10%. Void Spike damage from Yogg-Saron reduced. So it's the Void Spike damage from the Idol of Yogg-Saron that got reduced. Psychic Link now causes direct damage spells to like 20%, 25% of the damage into all of the targets with Vampiric Touch was 30%. Okay, but I feel like these are crazy, right? Shadow Word Death 10%, Mind Blast 10%, Shadow, like that's pretty good. Holy Priests have continued to trail behind other healers and DPS output, so we're increasing the damage. Oh my god. So this is, keep in mind guys, Holy Priests are gaining popularity at like an alarming rate. Not alarming, an alarming rate. I feel like it's not, I don't know. All right, we'll see. Holy Fire damage is increased by 10%, Smite damage increased by 10%. Holy Word Chastise damage increased by 35%. Shadow Word damage, that is a big, that's big, guys. So yeah, Holy Priests, despite them gaining quite a bit of popularity, these are big. This is big time. Shaman. Tide Water Healing increased by 40%. Duration of Rainstorm. So this is like Shaman are just weeping right now. If you're a Shaman, I'm very sorry that you have to deal with this. I know you don't like Healing Rain. Nobody likes Healing Rain. Nobody wants to use Healing Rain, but they want to buff Healing Rain. So Healing Rain is buffed. Protection, defensive stance increased to 20%. Okay, that's a D-stance thing. All right, here we go. Player versus player. Gladiator's Distinction primary stat bonus reduced for all damage. No! Do we like that? So they nerfed main stat. They slowed the game down. I feel like I don't actually like this. Healing will be slightly easier, so it's all right. Yeah, I guess it's in an attempt to make healing more enjoyable and damage less so, like, just so crazy the whole game, but I don't know. I prefer a fast-paced game. Oh well. Balance. The cast summon Cyclone is too fast for enemy players to deal with, so reducing its cast speed from Alk and Adept, and also reducing Precognition's haste and fractions of time. Solar Beam duration lasting 8 seconds was an oversight, as it should be reduced with Crowd Control Duration Pass and Embers of Neltharion. Fractions of time is the new patch. So Alk and Adept reduces the cast summon Cyclone Entangling Roots by 15%. Solar Beam lasts 6 seconds in PvP combat. I didn't do anything to high winds, though. How much less is 5% of a cast? It's really not that significant, but I guess maybe you'll notice it with precog as well. It might even be 0.1 second, to be honest with you. It could be 0.1 second. Restoration, reactive resonance, snare duration increased to 8 seconds. Verdant Infusion now extends heal over time effects by 4 seconds. Was 8 seconds. Master Shapeshifter now refunds 2,500 mana. 3,500 from Wrath. Oh wow, they buffed all the Master Shapeshifter stuff for Resto Druids. Monk, we got Mistweaver Monk's Enveloping Mist Healing is now increased by 12%. They buffed Mistweaver Monk's healing. Does that seem strange to anybody else? I feel like that's kind of just like out of nowhere. They buffed Mistweaver Monk's healing. That's a PvP change? That seems so confusing to me. This is like the most bizarre patch note I've ever seen. Priest, Catharsis now restores 15% of damage taken, was 20%, and the stored amount cannot exceed 12% of the priest's maximum health. Okay. Discipline. Discipline damage and atonement healing continues to be lower than we'd like, so we are increasing them to allow discipline to be more offensive. All damage increased by 10% in PvP combat. Atonement healing is now increased by 70% in PvP combat. What the heck? Is that crazy to any, like, all right. That seems significant. That is a huge buff. That is a massive buff. All damage increased by 10% in PvP combat, and atonement healing is now increased by 70% in PvP combat from 50. That's huge. Developers, instant damage from Catharsis and Unfurling Darkness is accounting for more Shadow Priest burst damage than we're aiming for, so we're bringing their power down. Shadow is also getting PvE damage buffs that affect PvP. Which puts some of the power loss back into the rotational spells. Unfurling Darkness now deals 25% reduced damage. Rogue, Subtlety Rogue, Secret Technique damage was reduced by 40% in PvP combat, was 33. Thieves Bargain, damage penalty increased by 10%. So I want to have a little conversation really quick about Subtlety Rogue, because I'm going to be honest with you. Although Subtlety Rogue, and I was having a conversation with Calvish on Twitter, and I actually kind of agree with them. There was a post made about Windwalker monks and, what's the big problem with Windwalker monks? And the truth is, I don't even know if Windwalker monks really have a problem. I mean, they do have problems, but the biggest problem is they just die to rogues. But my biggest issue with rogues, I think, isn't their damage. Although their damage is sky high, I would rather live in a world where subtlety rogues had good control and good damage, but weren't immortal. I feel like my personal problem with subtlety rogues right now is that they can't die no matter what. They literally cannot die. That's the biggest problem with sub rogue. I think everyone would rather live in a world where sub was like a control glass cannon that could actually die, as opposed to just an immortal god that is just, you cannot die no matter what you do. Like, and I know rogues are going to be saying, like, just so I can, like, I just want to show you guys this, because I feel like people are going to say that I'm like, shilling for rogue or whatever. I hate rogue and I just want rogues nerfed. This is a post. He said, don't even think, this is from Calvish, don't even think it's a damage or a burst issue with sub rogue specifically. On sub rogue, I can literally W key a team the entire game knowing I'm completely immortal and cannot die. Sub rogue obviously can only be balanced if it can actually be punished for offensive positioning. This right here, the problem right here, this is the problem right here. He says, I've never played so bad on this spec and lived so long ever. So I personally believe, and after seeing from like Rat and Calvish, the biggest issue with Rogue is the fact that they're literally immortal. And I think they have to be able to die. Like, you can't just be one-shotting people in stuns, stunning everybody the entire game, W-keying the entire game, and also just have 1,000 billion defensive cooldowns to trade that literally make you immune to death. No exaggeration. So I'm kind of blown away that they didn't nerf subtlety rogue defense at all, because I think that's the most annoying thing about them. But we move on. Shaman, or we're redistributing the amount of healing from instant cast sources for all shaman, increasing the power of casted. Okay, so they're redistributing the amount of healing from instant cast sources for all shaman and increasing the power of casted heals. So that casted heals are both more frequent and more meaningful. Healing stream healing is now increased by 20%. So they nerfed healing stream. Earth shield healing is reduced by 60% for elemental. So they actually buffed Earth shield. Correct me if I'm wrong. They buffed Earth shield for enhance and elemental. And they buffed healing surge too. They slightly nerfed healing stream and then they buffed healing surge and Earth shield for enhancement and elemental. Restoration Earth shield healing is now reduced by 15% in PvP combat. Healing surge is increased by 27%, up from 6. Healing wave is increased by 56, up from 30. Water shield's melee attack mana refund is now 20% effective in PvP combat. Was 50. Did they nerf water shield? Oh. So they made it so water shield has more of a passive regen, but it refunds less from melee. So it's going to be more effective in general. It's just a little slightly less effective from melee attacking you the whole game. We're targeting the defensive demonology with these changes as they are often difficult targets to take down. We're also lowering the healing from Mortal Coil to lower overall self-healing from Warlocks. Mortal Coil healing is reduced. Soul Link shared damage with the Warlock pet is now 50% effective in PvP combat. Profane Bargain increases the effectiveness of Soul Link at low health, is now 40%. So some fairly solid changes, if you ask me. I feel like the priest changes are crazy. I feel like the biggest winners here are Holy Priests and Disciplined Priests and Demon Hunters. We agree? Very, very minimal nerfs to Boomkins. I'd say fairly minimal nerfs to Warlocks. The Shaman healing change is an interesting one. Rogues are, I don't know, man. I don't really know. The Enveloping Mist healing is a bit of a strange one. And then overall damage nerf for everybody. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. These are the upcoming patch notes. These are the most recent up-to-date changes coming at you June 27th, which is in 4 days, meaning that the week 3 of the AWC will have these changes. Now the question is, do we think this is going to change anything in the AWC? Is this going to make any profound change? Are we going to see a new meta? Are we going to see new classes rise to the top? The only thing that I think is that we're going to see more Rogue Priest. I think we're going to see even more Rogue Priest X. Maybe that's with a Mage. Maybe that's with a Warlock. I don't really know. Maybe we'll see Double Priest Rogue. But I think that's more than likely what's going to happen.